All right, so we're finished. Let me turn the sound up. We're finished officially with exam one. Not everybody's taken it, but most of y'all have taken it. Some of y'all, missed it. I'm assuming that you'll either contact me or you may just be out of the class due to financial aid reasons or whatever. But I do want to discuss the exam. Overall, we did very well. I think our class average was in the mid 80s, so that's always good. A lot of y'all, about half of y'all, have already taken the exam a long time ago, and you're moving very well in the course. So you're probably thinking, man, I'm already on exam two, but that's all right. I kind of like to, touch base after due date. So if you've already done exam one, you've done well, you may not even want to watch the rest of this video. Nothing really vital except just touching base on a few things with exam one. Some people enter answers incorrectly, and I try to take care of a lot of that with when I review them. But try to catch them so this doesn't happen to you. You should be seeing it on your homework though. Like for example, if you're typing X equals or Y equals for your answers, you should be missing those on your homework. And maybe if you reviewed what you missed, you might catch and say, oh, I don't need to type that. Or you're entering parentheses and you shouldn't be entering anything except the numbers with a comma in between them. Because if you enter parentheses, the computer reads that as a point or an interval. And if it's not asking for a point or an interval, it's going to be wrong even though your numbers may be right. So the How to Enter Answers tutorial, which I talked about, at the very beginning of the class, you may want to watch that to avoid missing stuff. Okay, so that's one thing. The other issue are negative signs. That's something that some people just have an issue with. And a lot of your mistakes, if you made probably below a B, are probably signs. Either executing them incorrectly or ignoring them altogether. It's kind of like, I don't like negative signs, so I'm just going to ignore it. Don't do that. Try to pay attention to those details. That is what math teaches you. Math teaches you how to be a detail-oriented person, how to focus on the details. So try to focus on the details. Odds are your procedures are good. It's your signs that are troubling you. So, if this applies to you, try to fix it. The best thing I can suggest you doing is going back and reviewing your test to compare your answer with the correct answer. And it might help you figure some stuff out. I mean, it may not always because, you don't see every step you're doing. But it might help you. So that's just something I want to suggest. All right. So overall, doing well. If you made probably below a 75, that's a range that might indicate you might need some extra help, because what we did in chapter 1 and 2 was a lot of review. Doesn't mean you should remember everything by any stretch of the imagination, but stuff coming up here, especially after the next chapter, is going to be all relatively new. So it's helpful to have someone that can help you. Feel free to email me, but a lot of times it's better, face to face with some tutors. So I can help you all I can on email, and sometimes that's not very effective. Sometimes it is. You may just need a quick explanation, and I can give that to you. But oftentimes you may need a little bit more intensive help. So I do have office hours. If you're a BCTC student, drop by my office if you need help. If you can't make those hours, there's tutoring that goes fairly late in the evening and a lot at Newtown. So, those are options for you. But try to get better at what you're doing, more practice. Make sure that you do the practice exams. I know they're not graded, but that doesn't mean they're not important. So if you're waiting till the last week to do stuff and then not spending much time on the practice review, then you're rolling the dice. So try not to roll the dice. Okay, try to be a little bit more, I guess, predictable of what is going to happen. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Exam 2, which covers chapter 3, is a lot of graphing stuff, a lot of getting information from graphs, reading graphs, finding points from graphs. So not so much plotting the points, but you're going to be asked about the points on a graph. So try to not overcomplicate it. Just remember that every answer has an X and a Y. Okay? Sometimes you're asked for X, sometimes you're asked for Y. Know the difference. Okay? When you're asked about points on a graph, they don't necessarily have to be points that are plotted, because in a line or a curve, there's points everywhere. Okay, it's not always the only ones that are plotted that you're looking at. That's just the way we connect and draw lines and curves. We plot certain points, but it doesn't mean that's the only points that are on there. All right, so there's like 5 sections on this before the next test. It comes fairly rapidly, so make sure you get on it and do the practice that you need to do to make the grade you want. All right, so have a good rest of the week, and we will talk to you soon.